and how much I love kimchi and how it's a South Korean, mainly South Korean product, but it's on the cover of a very popular American business magazine.
I was very shocked too. Like, why kimchi? Was it newspaper?
안녕하세요 여러분, 제이입니다. 오늘 아침에 조씨가 이 뉴스 잡지를 들고 오면서 막 제이 막 흥분을 하면서 달려오는 거예요. 저 알고 보니까 이 블룸버그 비즈니스 빅 아시죠? 제가 저번 영상에서 영어 공부하는 방법을 추천드렸었는데 뉴스 잡지를 구독하는 거였잖아요. 근데 이 큰 미국의 미디어 대기업 회사인 블룸버그 비즈니스 빅의 이 첫 페이지에 김치 as an inflation indicator라고 나와 있죠. 그러니까 인플레이션 지표로서의 김치가 이 첫 페이지에 첫 번째에 나와 있는 거예요. 그래서 너무 깜짝 놀랐어요. 아니 여기에? 그래서 26페이지를 당장 펴봤습니다. 펴보니까 Inflation comes in many flavors. 다양한 품목에서 일어나고 있는 인플레이션 영향. 그래서 여기를 쭉 보니까 뭐 여러 나라들에서도 일어나고 있는 물가 품목들을 나열하고 있네요. 쭉 보니까 South Korea, 대한민국 김치 나와 있죠. 초록색 숫자 보시면 10.6%가 상승했다고 나와 있죠. 또 읽어보면 The price of the fermented cabbage sardines soared to an all-time high in March, prompting the cabinet of newly elected President Yoon Suk-yeol to convene a meeting of food distributors and crop traders to explore ways to cool the prices of these and other Korean staples. 발효된 배추 반찬의 가격은, 그러니까 김치를 얘기하는 거죠. 김치의 가격은 3월에 사상 최고치로 치솟았고 윤석열 대통령 내각은 이것을 비롯한 한국의 주요 식품들의 가격을 낮출 방안을 모색하기 위해서 식품 유통업체와 곡물 거래상들의 회의를 소집했다라는 게 기사 내용이네요. 김치까지 상승을 했다니 마음이 참 아프네요. 근데 더 이상 비싸지면 안 되는데 김치를 너무 사랑하는 저희 남편 조씨의 의견과 반응도 확인해보러 가보겠습니다.
So in a previous video, Jaehee introduced the Bloomberg Business Week magazine to you guys, and we get it as a weekly subscription, so every week we get a new one. And I was looking over the front cover earlier today, and I noticed at the top something that kind of caught my eye, and it was kimchi as an inflation indicator. So obviously I'm very interested in that one bullet because of kimchi and, you know, and how much I love kimchi and how it's a South Korean, mainly South Korean product, but it's on the cover of a very popular American business magazine.
I was very shocked too. Like, why kimchi?
Yeah.
Was it newspaper?
Yeah, so right now, obviously, inflation is a big topic with everything going on in the world, and
26.
so we just kind of went through it, and it has a bunch of indicators and examples of inflation from other countries. For example, in America, our household furnishings are increasing by about 11%, as well as like in Mexico, their inflation is shown as increase in tortillas. You know, it's 17.5%. I noticed South Korea was here as well, and the increase of kimchi is at 10.6%. And that kind of got us curious. I wanted to ask you guys, you know, how is the price of kimchi in Korea? Is it the same as it used to be, or has it increased in price? Like, what are the markets looking like today?
저희가 오늘 아시아마켓 갔다 왔거든요. 가서 이제 막창을 사온 건데 갔는데 김치가 한 몇 달러 좀 올라 있긴 하더라고요. 그래서 이게 확실히 한국의 김치 가격도 오르니까 미국에서 팔고 있는 김치 가격도 오르구나. 되게 굉장히 충격이었습니다. 김치 너무 좋아하는데 김치 가격이 올라버리면 마음이 아프더라고요.
Couple dollars, not too much, but you can definitely see. Now look who's back.
Kimchi, I love kimchi too.
Do you like kimchi too?
그리고 김치뿐만이 아니고 여러분 다들 주식을 하시나요? 저희도 이제 주식을 몇 개 가지고 있는데 정말 주식이 정말 많이 떨어졌더라고요. 이것도 뭐 하나의 시기라고 생각을 하고 다 지나갈 거라고 생각하고 있습니다. 포도 신문일 거예요? 예.
Unfortunately, right now in the U.S., what are you doing? You need to make up your mind. Where you want to go? You want to go up here, or you want to go? So unfortunately, right now in the U.S., everything's increasing in price, right? So You got your gas, you know, a year and a half ago, 2 years ago, gas was under $2.
동네 마트 가스통입니다.
And now we're seeing gas over $4, over $5, $6, $7, $8 in some states. I couldn't imagine paying $8 for 1 gallon of gasoline. I couldn't do it. Honestly, that's too much. Yeah, we just recently came out of a pandemic. You know, in some countries it's still happening, but for America, it's kind of being resolved and figured out, and hopefully it gets better. I kind of understand that with the pandemic, you know, you have your shortages, you have your supply issues and stuff like that. I understand, but back in 2017, I bought a vehicle that was relatively cheap, right? And then 5 years later, that vehicle that I bought is now 5 times more expensive.
In the house too.
Yeah, in the house, like, so we closed on this house like at 2.75 interest rate. Not even a year later, interest rates are going up to 6%. That is a ridiculous number. But that's kind of like the current situation, the climate, not just the US, but also the world. Obviously, like, people are affected by it. Even a 10%, 11% increase in kimchi is going to affect somebody's wallet. Hopefully the future is, you know, going to be positive. And I'm wondering, how is the new South Korean president going to handle, you know, the shortages issue, COVID issue, the inflation issues in Korea?
미국은 정말 많은 것들이 다 물가가 상승하고 있어서 더 열심히 일을 해야겠구나 뼈저리게 느끼는 순간이었습니다. 한국은 어때요? 한국도 물가가 지금 엄청 오르고 있죠. 저희도 되게 궁금해요. 한국 상황이 어떤지. 영상 댓글로 한국 상황이 어떤지 한번 남겨주시면 되게 감사하겠습니다. 영상이 좋으셨다면 좋아요, 구독 눌러주세요.
Bye everyone.